All right, y'all, welcome to episode 40 of Music in the Minor League. This week, we're talking to Jeff Appleby, who used to be on the Two Sheet Cookers podcast, runs Pretty OK BBQ, puts together shows around the Dickinson area, and every year has his annual birthday bash and EquuSearch benefit show. Usually when we reach a 10 point, we try to do something a little different, and this time we're talking about how music can be used for charitable means and how it's great to use your art to help your community and do things to make everything around you better, not just your music scene. So each year, Jeff puts on his birthday bash. He runs Pretty OK BBQ, and he is a great smoker, barbecue chef. Not exactly caught myself off guard, man. Not exactly sure what that's called. But if you eat Jeff's barbecue, you know that Pretty OK is kind of slow rolling you, man. It's really great stuff. So what he started doing was getting together, doing a huge cook, bringing everyone out, and raising money for Texas EquuSearch. Texas EquuSearch is a local charity that's run by Tim Miller. Back in the 80s, Tim Miller's daughter was murdered, and rather than let just that feeling of loss and grief crush him, he went out and he started an organization to help reunite parents with their children and friends with their friends and so forth. Texas EquuSearch does a great thing. They go out, started out on horses. They would go out and do grid searches and reunite families and find people who are missing, usually alive, sometimes not, but they took the hit and they, dealt with the trauma to keep the family from having to go out and find people. And I mean, they've done some great work over the last 30 plus years. Great stuff. If you're around the Houston area or anywhere in Southeast Texas, you've seen Tim on the news. He's normally the person who will even talk to the media so the family doesn't have to deal with the trauma of talking about that or doing anything. He's a really good dude who takes the hit, and they do all their stuff via donations and stuff like that. So it really means a lot to be able to help them out, and by being a part of Jeff's event, putting this on. So we feel it's important to take some time to discuss how, again, your music can be used to make the world around you a better place and support people who are out doing really amazing and useful services that are out giving things to their community. And that's what we were trying to do. So we hope you dig it. We're going to go ahead and try to get into the conversation. Remember, if you like the podcast, tell friends. It's the best way to get the word out. The only thing we have coming up show-wise is this show on this Saturday. We will be at Ronnie's Hog Heaven for the Texas EquuSearch benefit and Jeff's birthday bash. It starts at noon, and the first person kicking it off will be Tucker Hart. And this song is his new single that will be coming out later this week. It is called A Sailboat with a View. Man, we hope you dig it, and we'll see you on the other side. Later.
Said they didn't mind. It'll only be a month or two till I hit island time. I can hear the waves, they're crashing in my heart, dancing in my head. Coconut for a pillow and a beachfront for my bed. Now there's this woman I love, can't let it go, think about her all of the time. And there's this mortgage to pay, job in the way, of us dancing out under the stars to the sound of the waves and moonlight. Now we've been living this way out on the bay. Been about a year or two. One day my wife came to me, just as thrilled as can be. There's a new member of our crew. Now there's this daughter we love, can't let her go. Think about her all of the time. We're sailing back to the town we left to build our own paradise. There's a mortgage to pay and a job in the way, but we're having the thrill of our lives. Sailboat parked in the driveway, and our minds on island time. Sailboat parked in the driveway, and our minds on island time.
Ladies and gentlemen, barbecues and grills.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Cookers
whoa,
are
whoa, whoa. Wrong podcast.
Oh, my bad. Let me restart that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, music of all genres, I present to you Music in the Minor League.
That's better.
We'll have to use that. All right, y'all. You're listening to Music in the Minor League. Today we're here with Jeff Appleby, who had the Two Sheet Cookers podcast. Runs every year. He does a big EquuSearch benefit for his birthday. Brings in a ton of local music. And people raise tens of thousands of dollars for EquuSearch, which is a great local charity. And so, we've mentioned before, we talk to musicians, producers, and scene leaders and people like that. Jeff is someone I'd call a scene leader. Pulls bands together, puts bills, does stuff around Ronnie's, around the Dickinson area. Has Pretty OK BBQ, which is totally slow rolling his barbecue prowess.
It's pretty okay.
It's all right.
It's a good way, it's a good way to sell it short. You don't want to people come in too hot, so they're like, oh
Right.
man, wow, this is better than Pretty OK.
Damn right.
And that's really the reason we play the benefit every year. I mean, it's good to help out, but I mean, really, it's the barbecue. It's like, you get a free barbecue? Like, okay, yeah. Jeff's going to cook for us? Yes, we will play.
We'll do that.
Wow. That's the only reason y'all play. Y'all don't love me?
No.
What the hell?
Oh, no. It's it's the same reason my dogs love us. It's like that we feed us. We feed them. It's like, we love Jeff. He feeds us.
But I'll be honest with you, Jeff, when Sam and I first started dating, he was booked for your benefit that year.
Was that the benefit or before the
I
benefit?
think it was benefit. I think the first time we did was, it was one of the Scooch's benefits.
Oh, was it?
What?
No, I'm talking about when we showed up and just I think you did it by yourself.
Well, yeah, that was one of the...
Yeah, but that was one
I
of
think-
Sam's
I
selling
think-
points was the barbecue.
Y'all, as Brightwire has played before
Yeah.
I started doing the benefit. It was a few years before I started doing the benefit.
Yeah.
Because Scooch was setting everything up for my birthday party.
Yeah, so we did the birthday party before it was the birthday party, and because I'll remember the one time I did by myself. I think you did like one song with me or whatever, and you were still
Yeah.
just like singing one song
Right
or a
after we
couple.
first started dating.
Yes,
I remember meeting.
Yes, those were the
Y'all.
days of my birthday party.
Yeah, and that was the one time at Ronnie's where it was like, dude, because I think Grizzly got us there. And it was just like, yeah, dude, I'm going to get, banditos walking around, other dudes in cuts. Like, we start this, acoustic music, and it's like, hey, guys, they're going to be like, beat them up, kick their ass. Bunch of pussies, we're going to beat them up. And then we finish, and I always love this story because I want to say it's Michael Williams comes up, and he's like, man, the way she hit that fifth on that harmony on that chorus, man, that sounded really cool. I'm just like, I don't even know what note she's hitting relative to
What
mine.
did you just say?
And I was like, huh? They're like, yeah, man, that sounded real good. Like, I liked that. That was cool. I'm like, great. I got a dude, biker came up and said it was cool. I didn't get beat up. I mean, look, I'm big, but, I ain't bigger than a whole group. So I was like, oh, man. But it turned out to be a great show.
There's a place in every community where you can find good music, and there are people who support that. And in Dickinson, that's Ronnie's.
Oh man, it's just like
Absolutely.
such a musical place. I mean, everything about that place is like surrounded by music.
They're more music than sports. If there's going to be a band, TVs get turned down and you listen to the band and watch TV.
Yeah.
If there's no band, well, TVs get turned up and you get to watch foosball.
I remember being there one night during like the Astros playoffs, and Cheryl and Buddy were like, "No, y'all still playing?" It's like, "You want us to cancel?" No, we want to see y'all. Especially Cheryl, like, "I want to see y'all play." No.
We'll turn the TVs down. Go ahead.
Yeah, made you feel cool too, man. You're like in the middle of a song, and like the Astros get hit, and we're like, "Yeah!" And you're like, "Oh yeah, it's a cool part right there."
I'm amazing.
We rock.
Oh, that was for the Astros. Damn.
Oh man, that was great. So an important thing to talk with Jeff about, man, we figure the first thing we'll cover is, music can be used for something good in the community. And one thing that Ronnie's does a lot of is community support through there. And then, like I say, Jeff used to have his big birthday bash. Jeff still has his big birthday bash, but it's been quite a few years you've been doing the EquuSearch benefit. 4 years now, yeah.
This is the 4th year.
Nice.
And I don't know, man. I mean, I know a lot about EquuSearch, but I reckon you know more than I do. So,
And is there a personal connection there for you?
There is. When I approached Cheryl about moving my birthday bash to a benefit, she asked me, she said, "Who do you want to do a benefit?" And Texas EquuSearch home office used to be right around the corner from Ronnie's, in the same building, right around the corner. And I told her, I was like, "I'm thinking about doing EquuSearch." And she goes, "Cool. I know Tim Miller." And of course, this was something I didn't know. I looked at her and I was like, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, I used to work for Tim." All right. So she set up a meeting and sat down with Tim. And within half an hour, the man managed to rip my heart out, put it back, and then rip it out again. And the stories of what he has done. And I like to think I'm pretty tough, but there's no way in my life I could deal with what he has dealt with and seen and goes through on a daily basis with EquuSearch. So I want to try to, if I can just raise enough money to keep their lights on for a month, that's all I'm looking for, just to help them out. If we could, I know we're not going to fund them for a year, 2 years, whatever, but if we can just help them out for a short period of time and everyone get together and listen to some great music, eat some Pretty OK barbecue, and just have a good day. That's all I want to do.
Your birthday is the perfect time of year for that. So it's usually gorgeous weather. You got that going for it.
Right. It's still fairly cool outside. They can have the doors open and really broadcast out and have a great time.
Yeah.
This year it's April 20th. Good date.
Hail to the potheads.
Saturday.
Right. And then it's just like, again, the lineup's going. I think we have like 7 hours of music for it this year. So it's going to
That's going to be awesome.
It's going to go silent auction. So just let y'all know it is April 20th. It starts at noon. I can eventually.
People come and go all
pull
day.
up.
They bid on the silent auctions. They, hang out, go run errands, come back for a little while. It's an all-day event.
And if you're a musician and would like to get into helping out this auction or this benefit, please feel free to contact Sam. He volunteered to line up all the music this year, and in future years, I would love to bring different musicians in every year. It's all volunteer. You get a plate of food for playing.
Yeah.
That's all I can offer because I'm just a poor boy trying to raise money for EquuSearch.
Right. And it's usually busy and crowded the whole day when we're there.
They're typically pretty close to at capacity.
Big fun event, yeah.
So it's a really good exposure spot, too.
How many pounds of meat do you buy for this event? I'm just curious. Since you're the meat man.
I cook 10 briskets on average of 14 to 15 pounds. So you can say 140 to 150 pounds. But then you trim them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It cuts it down. After they're cooked, I'm going to say 80 to 90 pounds worth of meat sold.
Wow.
Plus potato salad, beans.
Do you do all that too, or you have somebody who helps you with the sides?
I've got a good friend of mine that makes my potato salad. She doesn't make my potato salad, but she makes her potato salad. Now her potato salad's really good. We do the beans because they're just simple on the flat top and cook them. But she does a potato salad because that's pretty time consuming and labor intensive.
It is, yeah. And can be done in advance.
Right. Well, she prefers her potato salad warm.
Okay.
And hers is really, really good warm, but it's still pretty damn good when it's hot or when it's cold. So
Who do we have this year? Do you know?
Yeah, our lineup this year is Gabe Wooten, Tucker Hart, Chris Hardy, Scotty Frazier, Brightwire, and Grifters and Chills. I think outside of Chris Hardy, I think every one of those people have been on the podcast
I think
at some
so,
point.
yeah. That's what happens when you have Sam do the booking.
Well, that was just the people. A
These
lot
are
of
the
people
people
are already
who-
involved, and they're people who are from that community. And like I said, it's EquuSearch is a great
I
local
think-
group that does stuff. So for those of you who don't know, like it comes EquuSearch because equestrian. Like they started out going out on horses, doing grids and searching for missing people. And they do work like Jeff was saying. It's a coins flip at best that they find the person alive or but it helps families find closure. Sometimes reunites families. But Tim started it after his daughter was murdered, and he does a lot to help families out. Unfortunately, I've had friends that have had to rely on EquuSearch to find family members that had killed themselves or things of that nature, and they did it, and they go out and they do the work, and they see a lot of grim things, man, but they make sure families receive closure. And again, there's those bright ones where it's like they find someone who's missing, someone who's this. They also network well, and they get the word out. So there's a lot of people they do find that are alive and well, and are able to bring them home, and it's really a cool thing they do. So that's why when Jeff started talking about that, I was like, yeah, I want to be involved in that. Like if you grow up in this area, you're always watching news. Like Texas EquuSearch is out helping search for insert person. Like they're a great company.
yeah, and on top of that, they post on Facebook all the time. So if you follow them on Facebook, you can see where they're who they're searching for and the area they're searching for them in. It's amazing what they do all by volunteer work. And these volunteers are going out now, instead of on horseback, they're going out with four-wheelers and side-by-sides and what have you. Moffett Fuel has done an amazing job of helping them out when they have a big search going on. Moffett Fuel will send a truck out, and it'll have fuel or gasoline and diesel, fill up the side of the sides. And if they've got to do any digging, they have, in the past, they have paid for an excavator to be there, paid for the fuel. So I've got to give props to Moffett Fuel also.
Oh, wow.
For what they're doing with EquuSearch, other than just what EquuSearch is doing. But EquuSearch, they look for the missing, and their motto is "Lost is not alone," because they're looking for you. They want to find you, and they want to find you in the best possible scenario. But we all know that doesn't always happen.
Right, but and the fact that they're willing to do that, knowing that it might not be a happy ending, and they may come across something that's gonna take a while, if ever, to kind of erase from your mind. But they're still like, we're gonna do that work. So that's why when you brought that up, it was like no questions asked. Like, yeah, we would love to be a part of that, because it's great when you can use your art to help people do amazing things. So.
Bring closure to families.
And just anything, not just with EquuSearch, but if you can use it to help people out that are making a difference, and it's one of those things, because part of our deal with music is to help bring people together and, find all the ways we're alike and to connect with one another. And then it's like, this is a way where it's like, you get to help a place, reconnect families and do all that. And just, again, man, Tim's a great dude, and getting all that rolling, meeting his tragedy by making sure other people don't have to go through what he went through, and making sure people get all that help they need. So,
yeah, one of the craziest things was the first time I met with Tim, I found out all the specifics of where his daughter was, when the area she was in when she went missing. And I believe it was 1984, maybe 83. We moved here from Texas in 85, and we were about 4 blocks away in the same neighborhood from where she went missing. And so that really brought a lot of things home when I found out, and it was years later that I found out that Laura went missing, a year or two before we moved into the neighborhood 4 or 5 blocks away, and we didn't hear anything about it. It was like all hush hush.
Yeah.
And that's what really got me nervous. After hearing him talk about it, it's like, how many people have gone missing and they have just pushed it off to hush hush. That's what EquuSearch is for, to keep the hush hush out of there. Let's get it out there. Let's get it known. Let's get people looking for these people that are missing, be it a 4-year-old child or a 45-year-old man. They're missing. Let's find them.
Yeah.
Let's pray we find them alive and healthy, but let's find them.
Like I said, it makes the decision very easy, to support that, because it doesn't matter. And I mean, they help everybody. There's no like, oh, well, not only these people in this area, like they're all over the place.
Well, you're pretty boots on the ground too. You're not sitting on Facebook saying you're going to raise money for a charity for your birthday. You get out there and you talk to somebody about a venue and you buy the food and you make it happen.
Yeah,
you talk to the musicians.
I wish I was strong enough to get out there and be more boots on the ground and volunteer and search with these people. But I honestly believe that if I ran across somebody that was missing and they were deceased, it would destroy me completely.
Right. This part is what you're made for.
I'm made for, hey, let's raise $1 to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Let's have fun. And look at the brighter side.
Let's get the word out.
Let's look at all the good things that they find. Let's not focus on the bad.
Yeah.
Right. And I was asked to do a cook for a benefit for EquuSearch back in September. And it was really cool to see somebody else out there, like-minded as me, wanting to do a benefit for them. And they came to me and wanted me to cook because they liked the food that I did for mine. So, I told them, hey, I'll cook. I don't care. I love to cook, and if it's for EquuSearch, I'll cook. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Different venue, but
yeah, but that's great.
Yeah, it really felt good.
You're now like on the roll. They're gonna call you when they need you.
No,
I know that's a lot of work.
Not that I don't want to do it, but I do have to work for a living.
Right. So. No, the work of love stuff unfortunately has to be relegated to the free time.
Yes.
But it's a great thing. So again, before we move on, it's the Ronnie's Hog Heaven, Dickinson, Texas, from noon to like 8 p.m. EquuSearch benefit, April 20th.
Saturday, right?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. April 20th, yes.
Yeah. So make sure you come out. It's Jeff's birthday. My birthday's the next week, so always remember it's right by my birthday. So it's like, all right, me and Jeff's birthdays are right up against each other. And
yeah, we're only a few days apart, aren't we?
Yeah. So, it's a great cause, and we're always proud to be a part of it.
And I always love to hear y'all there. Just having y'all there with grifters and shills and everybody else that comes out to play. It's amazing.
It is. It's always a blast, too, man. Like, there's never a point where we're like, oh, man, it's really sucked to hang out with all the awesome people at Ronnie's and eat barbecue and help people out.
Ugh, what a day.
What was me?
Right.
But that kind of brings us back around to, as long as I've been around the Dixon area, like I've known you, Scooch, because he played with Grizzly and stuff like that.
And Scooch is your brother.
Yeah.
He's my little brother who, yes, he is half an inch taller than me. And he's still a foot short for y'all that know him.
But so we know you a long time, big local music supporter. And that's one of the things, I know we talked a little bit before we got on, but what really got you into local music?
Wow. It was 20 plus years ago when a friend of mine invited me to go to a show at Rock Newton's in Webster. A band called Blue Corner was playing. And he's like, come on, dude, it'll be fun. Beer's cheap. Let's go. Of course, hey, I'm all for cheap beer. So I went and fell in love with the band. The music they played was awesome. I'm still friends with the lead singer, Danny, to this day. Everybody else has kind of gone their own way. Tim, the drummer, if I saw him in the store, walk up, shake his hand, we're still friends. Frank, the bass player, still an amazing guy. I hope they listen to the podcast. It'd be awesome. They went through a guitarist, unfortunately, several times, and that was the demise of the band. But it was Blue Corner introducing me to more live music that really got me into it.
So had you not been into live music before this? You were like a pop radio guy?
Yeah, I was a radio guy. I'd listen to the radio and thought that's what music was.
Yeah, because that's what was available to me growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
I did play the cornet and band in junior high, and I threw a few songs out there that the teacher knew, recognized, and actually got us to play them, or one of them, in a concert that we did, which was pretty cool. And don't ask me the name. I don't remember the name of the song.
Long ago.
I remember it was the Spy Hunter theme song.
All right.
I want to say it was Peter Gunn, but I'm
it's
probably
Peter Gunn,
wrong. Yeah, okay, I'm right. Hey, cool.
Great bass line, yeah.
Well, when you add trumpets and saxophones and everything else to it, it's a really great song.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so I guess band really got me into music, and it was my buddy Dave asking me to go to this Blue Corner show, and I saw Blue Corner, and then down the line I saw a band called Strippers Lie, and they blew me away. The energy they had and everything else, and I just started going to more local bars, checking out local music, and I really got away from radio. Like if you look at my Spotify list, 90% of it is local stuff. Not necessarily local as in Houston, but it's small time, not anybody who's ever made it super big yet. A few of them are on the way, but still they're not there yet. So, but yeah, that's what really got in. And my brother getting in with Grizzly really concreted everything in. It pushed it to the point where I was like, this is where I've got to be. Before he got in with Grizzly, it was, I like it. I'm really interested in it. I want to see more of it. But after he got in with Grizzly, I started digging more and looking for more local music and realizing how much talent was out there versus what I hear on the radio. Because everything on the radio I hear sounds like crap. It all sounds the same. So, and that's, I want to get back to the days where music had its own sound. Everybody had their own sound.
Yeah, and that's big, and like that's one of the things we love about local music, man. As you go out and see all these different genres, you get a bill together. It's not every band's the same. It's like, they jump all over the place. So you get all these little communities coming together, and it's also good for people to realize that all these amazing bands exist. You don't have to pay like $85 to see them, and you don't have to go out and pay $18 for a 20-ounce beer. You can go see them at a local place, and you can drop $5 on something or $3, and cheap beer. Usually the shows are cheap or free, and you get to go and have some fun, man, and you get to enjoy music that's really on the same caliber a lot of the time.
Oh yeah. And if I got to spend $10 for a cover charge, I'd rather spend $10 for a cover charge and $5 for a beer than go up to, what's that big place in the Woodlands that...
Yeah, the Woodlands people. Yeah.
It's ridiculous what they charge for what they offer.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to have security checking your ticket every 2 aisles and...
It's the name draw.
Pay $100 and...
Yeah.
$25 for a beer, and is that the fun you want to have? And it's like, I get realized for sometimes it's like that's the connection you have, but you can really see some amazing bands without... Literally
my entire life, people have told me their experiences seeing concerts at Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, and I have said, no thank you. I know I've never been there, never even driven by it, but I know I don't want to go. Like, that's just not the kind of show I want to see.
No, that's the thing about a lot of local music too, is you get to build relationships with people. Like, we know Jeff, we hanging out because we play. He's at a lot of shows. We get to know each other. You start learning about other bands from people like Jeff who are at all these shows. Like, hey, man, you should check out this band. They're really cool. And then you do, and then they suddenly become a friend of yours, and it kind of helps everybody. That's why it's important to have people who are out, their finger on the pulse, that go to a lot of shows, see a lot of people. And, to me, it's a very important thing to have as a musician and as a music fan.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, to say you're a fan of music, you can't fake that. You really can't. You either love music or you love crap. And a lot of the stuff on the radio is crap. Yeah,
well, I also
that's
think
going to get edited out, but still.
I also think that you have people who love live music because you can tell because they're standing in front of the band, or their phone is face down on the table in front of them, or their phone is not even visible. And then you have the people who sit on their phone all night. Like, I know you love music, but not like I do.
Really that important?
Not like I do. Don't talk over the band.
Hey, can y'all keep it down? I'm trying to talk on the phone.
Oh.
Right. Those are always the best. Like, the people are just like, oh my God, or having some. I'll never forget seeing like American Aquarium. I thought BJ Barham was going to kill some lady who's just screaming about stuff the entire time during their song.
I will give you the crazy laser eyes.
Which that's a good thing about a lot of local shows. You don't get a lot of that because people show up to see the bands.
People are respectful,
right? And that's the great thing about the local music shows is people that show up are there for the music.
Yeah.
They don't show up to be, I'm seen at the bar.
Right.
Luckily, we're below that level of people that want to be seen at our shows.
Right. No one's,
yet.
The only time anyone say anything like that's kind of making a joke.
What are you talking about? I want to be seen at your shows.
Right, but nobody's talking over us trying to take selfies with us in the background so they can post it on Facebook. Like, nobody's doing that.
You haven't looked at Chrisman's Facebook this week. No,
I haven't.
Note to self, I will do that every show from now on. I will be the guy taking selfies with y'all in the background.
Like, there it is. I got this one.
Make sure you interrupt the show. That was a drive-by trucker show that broke me, man. I was done with that venue because it's just the people that go there.
Oh, what,
not
warehouse?
my speed. Yeah. But I mean, venues change, so you never know. Got a lot of that right now. What else you want to talk about?
Another thing we can talk about is, like I say, you did, while we're on a podcast, you did have to have like the Two Sheet Smokers podcast. Is that like no, it's 3 sheets.
No, it was 2 sheets.
No, I'm saying, but I was saying, was it just y'all were only 2 sheets in the wind smoking? Or?
Well, it started as Chris and Randy, and I refused from day one to get into it. I'm like, no, it's dumb. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to last. And they did it. They made quite a few recordings about anything and everything we cooked. If we cooked it on the grill, a smoker, what have you, it was recorded about and put on the podcast. There was a lot of stuff that we cooked that didn't get released just for what have you. And they did quite a few releases, and I supported them. Good friends of mine. I said, I'm going to support them. I listened to it, and I'm like, man, they're lacking an intro. And so we're sitting at in Chris's garage one Friday night. We have Friday beers. We all get together and drink beer. And I looked at Chris and I was like, bro, been working on this. Check it out. And I threw it out there. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, barbecues and grills, cookers of all calibers, I present to you Two Sheet Smokers. And of course, his jaw dropped. Randy fell on the floor. They're like, we got to have that for the podcast. So I'm like, crap, really? Now I've got to do it?
So how long have you been doing voiceover work?
What's that?
How long have you been doing voiceover work?
This is the second time I've actually done it publicly.
That's awesome.
No, it sounds great.
Yeah, that was fun.
I have that sexy sound to my voice, apparently.
Yes, you do.
Like, how are you tonight?
Oh, hey, what's up? You've never talked to me like
Sam's
that, baby.
got it.
I
Wow.
was just saving it for Jeff.
Say it again.
Wait,
what?
I just, it's one of those things where it's another, was it another rooster comes to the yard? It's like, roar.
Oh God.
How are you doing, Kim?
Oh my. It was a little tingly.
So, while we got you here, man, might as well talk about. So, you do Pretty OK BBQ, which is y'all do a lot of setup and cook places. Y'all do caterings and things like that. What got you really going with outside? I guess you started doing it, kind of cooking it, the benefits and things, and decided that, like, hey, man, really do this. I wanted to be like a Billy Badass in the cook-off circuit. And like every competition I got into, like from day, I'll say the second competition I got into, I always hit the top 25%. I never gotten better than that. I never made money, but be it 50 teams, be it 5 teams, I've always hit the top 25%. And like I do have a couple little trophies, doing gumbo cook-offs where I beat 2 teams of coon asses. And well, no, three gumbo cook-offs now beating coon asses. Sorry, coon asses, love y'all, but apparently Texas do better gumbo. Sorry, I had to clear my throat.
Where did you move to Dickinson from?
Said
Texas.
I moved to League City in 1985 from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis, okay. So you were a transplant. That is insulting that you do a better.
Well, it's not insulting. They just got to try harder.
I have not tried your gumbo yet. You're going to have to put your money where your mouth is.
Which one do you want? You want the full seafood or you want my Texas gumbo?
Oh, no, it's got to be seafood. Like, that's the best.
Are you sure?
Gumbo. Yeah. Well, you told me about the other gumbo, and I'm just going to say that, like, it sounds like I'm going to need a lot of Tums after I eat that gumbo.
Nah. Do you need Tums after you eat my brisket?
The meat sweats, I needed some Tums.
Well, see, that was where.
Okay, well,
but that's just my age now, man.
Meat sweats is an evil thing that I cook.
But that's just my age now, man. I can't.
And I only give meat sweats to people I care about.
Oh, they were so good.
And now we're turning a music podcast into a food podcast.
No, it's fine.
Everybody loves food, okay? Everybody
let's be
needs
real.
to eat food.
Everybody loves food.
Right. When we talked to Johnny Longhorn, we went through like a whole 20 minutes of pizza around the U.S. You know,
You did. I remember that.
you love to eat, man. I mean, we get barbecue all over the place, and sometimes it surprises you.
That's another reason we love having Jeff here. He's listened to all of our podcasts, so he
Except
knows.
for the latest one.
That's
I
okay. It
haven't-
just
I
came
haven't
out
hit that
yesterday. Yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
okay.
hadn't had a chance.
It's okay. You've been.
But I will say this: traveling to Mississippi, listening to your podcast, kept me awake, and I loved it.
We love podcasts when we're on the road.
I was keeping up with y'all, and it was like y'all were in the truck with me traveling. I'm like, this is cool as hell.
Ah, awesome. I love that.
I do. It is a good thing to travel with because you can listen and just like, okay, cool. And you get to, by the end of it, you're like, I basically know these people. Like, even if I never met them, it's like, dude, I've heard all this stuff.
Right. Yeah. The creepy thing about it was after I finished with y'all's podcast, it went into Mr. Ballin. And if y'all know anything about him, he tells some pretty creepy stories. So driving down the road, hearing that, it's like, I'm in Louisiana.
I do go back to the music.
In the middle of nowhere in a flipping swamp. And now I'm hearing this person died in a swamp and nobody could figure it out. Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're gonna stay on this road.
If I hear banjos, I'm running.
Stay awake. Stay awake. Stay awake.
Man, it's a good traveling thing, man. Podcasts and music, you know.
Oh yeah.
Then we've gotten audiobooks recently.
We have.
But it's usually audiobooks on music. So it's like, oh, here's oral history of insert music scene. It's like, cool.
The punk rock scene or
Hey, if it keeps you awake while going down the road, it's awesome.
yeah.
I have a bad problem where if I listen to music while I'm driving, if I drive more than an hour, I start dozing off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not safe for me or anybody on the road.
No, I like talk radio. I like books. I like podcasts.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, before we discovered Audible or really audiobooks, period, before you could put, just shove a flash drive in your car, you could just, download an audiobook. Before that, we didn't really have that. So when we would tour, I would check out a couple books, and I wound up reading till I was almost hoarse and couldn't perform one night.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was a drive home from Birmingham.
It was so long. We needed to be entertained and keep awake,
Wow.
So I read to him.
It reminded me of the scene from, was it Man on the Moon, where it was Andy Kaufman read The Great Gatsby. And by the end of it, he's like, and then he said, it's like,
Yeah.
I just read for 6 hours straight. My voice is gone. Well, hell, man, at this point, I think this would be a good time to jump into this one.
Are you
What do
gonna
you
do a
usually do?
segue?
You've been listening to the podcast.
Are we about to do the health question?
Yeah, Hell's not here. He had family responsibilities. We did go out last night. We recorded an episode of Vinyl Voices podcast and radio show with John Denman and Jesse Sendejas.
He does have a life. He's, it's not just the band. So
Well, I know what I'm saying. We went and did that.
forgive
Yeah, and he
him.
was like, he has kids and,
Yeah.
people that want to see their dad. And apparently he
plus, when I
decided
was out of town, you guys talked to a couple people without me. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Like I always say, I'm the only important person. So since Hell's not here.
you always do say that.
We're going to do this. I'll do it for him. All right. This is a time where we like to find out who some of your favorite local bands are, or, indie bands that you think deserve a bunch of cred at this point. So if you got 3 to 5, or if you go fast, you can name all you can, but we're going to let you go with it. So who you got?
All right. To begin with, Chris Hardy has played for almost every single one of my birthdays since my brother started setting everything up. So I got to say Chris Hardy. He's a local guy out of Clear Lake area, and he's amazing.
I want to say the first time I saw him perform was at your birthday party, the first one we went to.
Yeah, man. Chris is one of those guys who has great original music, can go out and basically do you need 4 hours of covers, I got you.
Or
Yeah.
or do a cover that you've heard a million times before and make you freaking cry because you've never heard it done that way before.
Well, that's because Chris Hardy
Yeah,
is.
he's one of
Chris
those
Hardy.
guys.
He's awesome.
My favorite Chris Hardy thing is when you grab his acoustics, when he breaks strings, he just leaves the ball ends in. And now it just sounds like a maraca. There's so many ball ends. I mean, he plays probably 6 days a
Percussive
week.
playing.
I mean,
Yeah.
he plays like 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Like, that dude, that's what he does.
That's his livelihood, and for him to take time to come play my benefit, it just makes me really, really appreciate everything that he does. I would love to watch him 5-6 days a week, but
Yeah,
I
his
got a day
originals
job.
are so good.
Yeah, man. We love Chris.
Another one I want to talk about is When Particles Collide out of Bangor, Maine.
Yeah, they're killer.
They're fantastic. I would love to figure out some way to get them down to play the benefit one year. We'll have to figure it out one way or another. If you're into blues and stuff like that, we got Clint Boyd and the Hip Waiters.
Okay, yeah.
Clint Boyd has been a really good friend of mine. He has supported Pretty OK BBQ since I started it. And you know, I just got, you know, he's amazing guy, and the rest of the band's awesome. And to top things off, I've got to call out Cymblem.
Wait, spell that for me.
Cymblem, Cymblem.
Okay.
Like a symbol, but with
Okay.
They're a local rock band. They do play a lot at Ronnie's and shows here and there. Unfortunately, they all have day jobs, so it's hard to get them. Several of them work in the plant, so it's hard to get them all together at the same time to do a show. But I really think they're putting out their second album right now. They're about to release a second song on the album. But they are good friends of mine, and they have, you know, they have played for several occasions. I mean, I can't, you know, hell, I feel the same about all these people. They're just amazing musicians that need to be recognized.
Oh yeah, man. Cymblem's like an institution down in the Dixon area and stuff, and Clear Lake. Like they're one of the killer bands. That's where we've seen them, you know, Ronnie's and everything. Because
You have
it's like,
such a good senior.
I know, we were talking about that last night. Like, there's literally, no matter what kind of music you want to hear, there's somebody who's damn good at it
Somewhere in the Houston area.
in your backyard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You don't have
odds
to go
are
far.
they're going to play Ronnie's at some point, because Ronnie's loves to play music. They love local musicians.
Yeah, we booked a thing we're going to do on June 29th. We're going to do like a locals kind of fest thing with like us and a few other people, and like Tequache and Gritters and Shills, and I'm trying to think who else. There's a few other people, Jim Williams,
Oh, nice.
Tucker, Scotty, and we're doing that. And it was like, you know, that's how much we love, or why we love Ronnie. Cheryl was like, we got to wait all the way till June. It's like, y'all could do something before then. It's like, well, we're doing a lot of stuff.
We're going to be there on April 20th.
Right, we will be there, and that's one of the best things, man. Is getting to come in, hug Cheryl and Buddy, man, and just have like a great time. Like I say, they're so supportive. Plus, Buddy's like pretty badass guitar player too.
He's not bad. He's not
pretty
bad.
okay at guitar.
And you know,
He's pretty okay at guitar, like just pretty okay at barbecue.
and you know, like on top of all that, whenever I got sick with my thyroid last year, like they both came and talked to me immediately. Like when I came in the bar, and like Buddy told me all about how when he had his done, like what to expect and all that stuff. Like they're really freaking good people on top of that.
They
you
are.
know?
They are absolutely amazing people.
That's why we went out there. The night was the night before your surgery.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we went out the night before our surgery. 'Cause if something happened with Kim's vocals, her last show was going to be at Ronnie's.
Yep.
Awesome place to have a last show.
Right, that's what we were saying with Buddy, Cheryl there. Everyone like, yeah. When you show up to like an acoustic open mic there, and everybody's like, yeah, y'all are here. Like, this is great. It's like, it really is. Like, if I need to pick me up, it's like, let's go. And you can't beat $2 PBRs either. Draft, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, too bad I drink Shiner Buck.
Well, it's one of those. It's also one of those things, though. Like when we have a new song, like that's where we try it out at. Is we'll go down there for open mic.
Yeah, and I feel like that. You know, if I actually asked that, Buddy would be honest, like, hey, it's not quite done yet for, you know.
That's one thing about Buddy is if he doesn't like it, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
He's an honest person. He's an excellent guitarist. If he doesn't like the song, he'll tell you, I'm not feeling that one.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to get, especially someone who's played so long and is such a talented musician and knows music. I mean, you get them going on stories, you're hearing stuff like from the old, like, I remember playing like the Outpost back in the day and this happened, and you know, and you're just like, man.
I feel like there might be a two-parter in there.
We need to
That
talk
would
to
be a
Buddy one
cool
day.
We
episode
should
if
talk
you
to
could get
Buddy.
Buddy Mancheck on an episode. That'd be cool as hell.
That's one of our goals.
I love stories.
Yeah, and he's a hell of a story, man. You get him going, you'll get him to open up, man. He's also a quiet guy, but I think we could get him rolling.
Oh yeah, give him a couple beers, he'll start talking.
Right?
We can do that.
Well, man, on that note, anything else we hadn't talked about that you'd like to cover?
No, come out April 20th to Ronnie's Hog Heaven in Dickinson, Texas.
We'll be there all day.
We'll be there from noon till 8 p.m. or later. Come on out. Have a good time, get some barbecue, listen to music, and enjoy yourself. Raise some money for a good cause.
Go say hi to Jeff in the meat trailer. Is that what you call it? The meat trailer?
We call it Old Wood.
Okay, I'm not going to ask.
It's the old wood trailer, man.
Go look for me in the Jeff in the meat
wood.
trailer.
Well, I mean, you don't use fresh green wood to cook barbecue, so you use old wood.
Old dry wood. Way it burns and smokes well.
That was
that?
a team name that I was involved with that I bought the trailer from.
Oh, okay.
It was Old Wood Cookers.
Okay, gotcha.
We just call it Old Wood. My other smoker that's in Chris's backyard is called the Bobby because I bought it from Bobby.
Okay.
Which Bobby's a big hand that helps me out, especially for the benefit.
I mean, I like the meat trailer better, but that's fine. You can call it whatever you want.
I guess we can call it the meat trailer. you know? I mean, it sounds porno as hell, but
That's where Kim has to go, man.
I didn't even
Just
think
turn
about that. I
everything
just thought
dirty.
it sounded funny. I did.
giggity, all right.
See, that's why I made such a good phone sex operator, because I didn't realize that I was making the innuendo. Made it even hotter.
Wait, what was that number? I might have to call you later.
All right, y'all. Well, yeah, just to follow up one more time, it's Ronnie's Hog Heaven, April 20th. EquuSearch benefit, Jeff's birthday. If you can't make it, find EquuSearch online at texasequusearch.org. Be sure to check them out. You can donate there if you can't make it. You can hit one of us up, and if you'd like to make a donation to help out this group, it would mean a lot. Come out, great barbecue, great music, great venue, silent auction, always some pretty amazing things being
Art,
auctioned off.
like guitars, like crazy stuff.
50-50 raffle, the whole nine. So come out, support local music, support people out there doing a great thing locally by searching for all people, man, that are missing. It's a big thing. So, all right, man, we'll hope to see you there, and we'll talk to y'all in a couple weeks.
I just wanted to add that the address for Ronnie's Hog Heaven, Ronnie's Ice House, depending on how you put it in the phone, is 4355 FM 517, Dickinson, Texas.
All right. That's an important thing to know. So be there. It's a great spot, and we'll see you then, man. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank y'all for listening to another episode of Music in the Minor League. We hope you really enjoyed it. It was a great conversation with Jeff. We're looking forward to his birthday bash this weekend. Raise some money for EquuSearch. Again, if you can't make it and you got some change rattling around your pockets, look up texasequusearch.org and donate some money there, man. Help out the cause. Or just send it to us. Hit us up. We'll give it to Tim and the folks at Texas EquuSearch. No problem, man. Before we get to the final farewell, just remember, if you like the podcast, tell some friends. Go listen to the old episodes. Find some great new music, man. It's really what helps everybody out. If you're a band that wants to be on the podcast, hit us up the same way, man. We'd love to talk to you. We got plenty of openings in the coming months, so we'd love to, catch up with you, man. Find out what's going on with your music. All right, we're going to close out the episode with a song from Grifters and Chills, who's playing the benefit. We figured we would go with this one, their song Live on Purpose. It's kind of a tribute to Tim Miller, who runs Texas EquuSearch. Again, he lost his daughter under tragic circumstances back in the 80s, and rather than just, living with that grief and letting it crush him, the dude went out and decided that other families wouldn't have to go through what he went through. And I know we talked about it being a coin flip, but we looked up stats, and Texas EquuSearch finds way more people alive than not. So, man, they've been out doing some great stuff, finding missing people, reuniting families, and just, it's one of those things that just leaves you humbled seeing what they've been able to accomplish and all the great things they do, and, all the trauma they experience while making sure other people get reunited with their families. As they say, missing is not alone. So on that note, here's Grifters and Chills with their song Live on Purpose. Hope you have a great one. We'll see you next time. Later.